nice. That was a lovely move. So, this is test 1 with the new camera, DJI Action 4. And I have the DJI Mic Mini 2. That's mounted on the inside crash helmet and in a cheek pad with the magnetic mount. 40 odd mile an hour. Imagine it's pretty windy on the mic. Voice with a bit of luck should be above it. So really this is just a shakedown day, just to make sure everything's working. See what does work, what doesn't work. So visor down. Like that, whacking the camera. That'd be better. Just remember that. Just visor from the top, not the bottom. So it's a nice day today. Sunny. 26 degrees, I think. Some big traffic. Magic of bikes. So yeah, nice day today. Not much wind. I can hear a little bit. I've got my plugs in, but I can hear a little bit around the crash helmet. It'll be very interesting to see how this mic does with it. I have got noise cancelling on the lowest level, and I've got the mic set for -12 dB, because all the peeps on YouTube said put it on -12 dB, and I think they're probably right, otherwise it's going to be really noisy. So -12, bit of noise reduction, hopefully the voice is not distorted and loud enough. So this is popping around about 50 mile an hour, just under, something like that. Pretty much right at this speed most of the time through the country lanes. So this should be a very good test of my setup. So I've had a few cameras. Some of the cameras I picked for practicality. So I had the Sena Prism Tube Wifi, which from a practical point of view is like the best camera in the world. It sits on the side of your head out the way, sits in standby forever. Just pull the sort of sleeve at the front of it and it turns it on and starts recording. And it's brilliant, really. It has a mic and a headphone. It tells you it's on, tells you it's recording and things like that. And you can talk and do narration. But the trouble was the quality was rubbish. Well, I say it's rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's just things have moved a long way forward. Watching all the YouTubers, most of them are either on GoPros or DJI Actions. And I think the Actions, to me, seem better now, more up to date. It's got a lot of things on it that I like. I wasn't sure whether to get the Mic Mini or the mic, but because it's going to be in my crash helmet, it seems like a good idea to have it magnetically in there, and it's small. Time will tell. I'm sure the quality's fine. About the practicality, I'm always a bit worried it might just fall off the magnet, but we'll see. So I was going to use the app, got it on my iPhone, and see what the camera's pointing at, because obviously it's a little bit difficult when it's stuck on the front of your helmet. But, you know, I just wanted to get out and do something, so it's hot today. So I just made sure it was facing forward, which is obviously going to be good, and made sure the mic was showing its levels, which means it's recording the Mic Mini. And off I've gone. So let's see how this does. I did change a few things in the camera. And again, I watched a few YouTubers. I changed the frame rate. It comes standard, I think, with 30 frames a second. But I'm in the UK, so I'm used to sticking things on 25. So I put it on 25. And then a few people said, you know, stick the shutter speed at double the frame rate. So I was going to put it on 1/50th a second, I think that is. Set the exposure to manual and switch it to 100 to 3200, I think it was. That's what they're advising. But I think if you do that, it would seem that you need an ND filter on the front of the lens, and I haven't got one. This camera's brand new, and I'm trying to see what's the minimum I can get away with. So I'm shooting 25 frames a second, 4K, and the shutter speed and exposure are all on automatic. So we'll see. Let's see how it copes with that. From what I can tell, again from watching the YouTubers, it seems to be fine. But a few people have said, you know, you can do better, you know, to get more motion blur and stuff like that. But I could do that later on. Maybe when I get a ND filter or something like that. I did buy a reconditioned card, memory card for it. It's about half the price. I presume they're fine. They say they've been reformatted and tested and all that lot. So we'll see. See if I get drop frames again. Another shakedown of the card as well. I'll leave that learner to there. Devices there. Thought I was following them. Nice. Well, Mr. PBD leak detection, W333 PBD. That was a lovely move. Hope he sees the camera. Probably on his phone. I've got two other cameras as well. I had a GoPro Hero 2, which is a good camera. Again, it's getting on a bit. It only shoots maximum HD, 1920, 1080, and again, no stabilization. I suppose I could have used that on the front of the bike facing me if I wanted to have two cameras, but I'm trying to see what I can get away with. Maybe just one camera. I could always move this camera. I might put a mount. I've got the bar that goes at the front for accessories, tom-toms, car plays and all those sort of things. Obviously I could put another mount on there. Because of the magnetic mount, it's really easy to move them, so I might just do that. I might just get one of those mounts and put it on there just for the sake of it. And then I can occasionally, a few shots with me. I don't think I really want two cameras. It's a lot of hassle. I think one's just about where my tolerance level is for setting up, make sure everything's on before you go. So we'll see. But that's a possibility. I'm going to pull over at some point and try and do a bit to camera. I could use my iPhone, but I'm going to see if I can do it all on the Action today, because it's a good camera, it shoots high quality. I've got the one camera, and the more different shots I can do easily, I've only got to think about one camera. I did find one slight problem. Yesterday I was testing the camera out with the Mic Mini. You know, Bluetoothed up perfectly, no problem at all, to the camera, the Action camera. But I thought I'd see if I can connect it to my iPhone. And it connected up fine. It Bluetoothed up with the iPhone, and just like it did with the Action. Then I found that the Apple video app, oh dear, that was a crappy move. What is it with people and cyclists? They sit right behind them and then pick the most rubbish place to overtake them. And they could have just overtaken them easily. Just pull out, give yourself some space. Crazy. He's pulling over on a bend. What's he doing? Yeah, he's going to go when a car's going past. Excellent. Should be on a motorbike. There you go. Anyway. Yes, so yeah, I connected to the iPhone. It was fine. I found out you can't use an external Bluetooth mic, so that was rubbish. Then I found you could fire up the Blackmagic camera. That worked, and there was a Rode Podcaster software. I never tested that. But what I found is that when I turned it all off, and then when I turned on the Action Pro, and I'd already turned on the mic, it didn't connect up automatically. Now, it might have done, maybe I did not give it enough time. That is a definite possibility. I am new to this camera and mic setup, and I don't even know exactly how long things take. But I thought it might be that it was still trying to connect to my iPhone. So I disconnected it from the iPhone, told it to forget that device, powered everything off, powered everything back up, and then the mic mini connected automatically to the Action. So I probably caused that problem, so I'm going to try and avoid that. Maybe I'll test that again sometime. So I'm not changing anything today. This is normally how I ride. It's normally the speeds I ride. These are the sort of roads I ride. So I want it to be a recording of what I normally do. I don't want to do anything different. And usually I don't spend a lot of time talking to myself. When you're editing, you look at the quality of the footage, and if that's all you can ever see, the bad quality or unstabilised, you're never really going to get a good edit, because that's all you can see. And I've had those cameras a long time, and the truth is I never really used them because I didn't like the quality, and that's ridiculous. That's what I wanted to get away from. I wanted to get a camera that I could just put on and go and know that whatever I shot, I would be happy with the footage, and that way I will edit it up. Why wouldn't I? The other camera I had was like what you call a GoPro knockoff, really. Looks like a GoPro. I bought it for a holiday, actually, because we were going on holiday somewhere warm. I knew there'd be a swimming pool. I wanted something that had a waterproof case. Oh, see, flashing light, that'll do me. I did have a waterproof case for the GoPro, but I cut a hole in it, stuck a microphone in, so that was completely useless. So yeah, I bought this camera, and actually it shoots at 4K. Was, I think, about £40, so it was a cheap old thing, but I wanted a camera that was cheap because I thought, if I go in the pool with it first time and it lets water in, I haven't lost a load of money. But as it was brilliant. The case was waterproof. It started up and started recording. I took it in the pool. We had it on a little hand mount that you could run around with. Of course, there's lots of light, so it looked great. It looked great under the water. Sound was rubbish on it. The sound under the pool, obviously you're not going to get much anyway, but even when you had it out, not in the case, the built-in mic was rubbish. And when I plugged the external mic in, which came with the kit, it didn't turn off the internal mic for a start, and then it wasn't very good either. So no sound, but video was not bad. I mean, because it was a £40 camera, you can't really moan at that. But it did shoot in 4K, so pretty good. And it did have some image stabilisation, but when I tried it out, it didn't work very well, so I left it off. Quite a few cars out today, pulling around. Give him a bit of space, I think. So yeah, that was camera. So I didn't want to use that camera because, well, quality wasn't very good. I've used it a couple of times, and again, I just look at the footage and think, you know, if you don't want to edit it because of the quality, what's the point? But that was a camera I thought maybe I could use that on the front of the bike as well, because it does shoot 4K. I might do that, and then I can stick the footage next to each other and compare them. I've noticed the screens have gone off on the camera, and childish. And but I can see the red light flashing, so I think it goes off after, screens go off after, I think it's 5 minutes. Obviously that's to save battery life, and to be fair, what do you want them on for? You can't see them anyway. So as long as you can check the camera's still on and that little red flashing light seems to do that, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to pull over somewhere and find somewhere nice. I'm going to copy every YouTuber I've ever seen, and I'm going to try and find a nice place to put my bike, do a little bit to camera, just really to test it. So I will, I don't know what I'll do. I might take the mic mini off and stick it in my hand. I've seen people do that. Or I might turn it off and use the onboard mics on the camera. I've seen people do that. I might do both actually, that would make sense. Then I can put some sort of comparison. And that is the point of this, so maybe I'll do that today. Wow, that is a lot of traffic out today. It is Saturday today, and it is a really nice day. Oh, one of the other things I'm checking out today is the mount that's on the front of the crash helmet. So it's one of those stick-on ones. You can see it there. It sort of sticks to the front and goes round. So it's got 4 places it's stuck, not just one. So I'm hoping that it's going to be very secure. This looks very boring. So the sky is nice and blue. It's quite cloudy and some black clouds. Hope it don't rain on me. Don't worry about the camera, it's all waterproof. So let's find somewhere nice to pull over. I don't know, somewhere. Let's get around this corner. This is quite a tight bend, this one, especially for that great big lorry. Should be out as soon as we get past this. Is it past it? Yeah. See? People say this bike's not good at accelerating, but I don't agree with that. This is the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Just got it actually. Yeah, I found it zippy. I mean, that was no problem. Let's accelerate round. I think that's how to accelerate round pretty much on any bike. So slow, I don't think so, and not good at acceleration. That's great. One thing you have to do is rev it though. I mean, it's a 450 single. You want to be giving it some revs. And if you're going to try and do it at 2,000 revs, it is not going to work because, well, it's just a 450 single. So I think I'll go back up this road again. Find somewhere nice here to pull over. Sure, I'll find somewhere. As long as I don't meet a load more traffic, that'll be fine. Things I might try is I've got the adventure screen on this bike with that little flip at the top, which keeps a lot of the wind off me, but it does create a little bit of turbulence, and I'm just wondering if that's been picked up by the mic and whether the camera is shooting through it. So I might put the original screen back on, which comes to about here, which means I get a cleaner shot, and since I mainly ride in nice weather anyway, I don't really need it. And with this sort of temperature, it might be better to have the smaller screen. It's a nice tree. That's someone's house, so I won't be shooting there. Let's see what we've got up here. I need to pull over somewhere, so it might as well be here. Yeah, I think this is a choice. Obviously, just there. That'll do me. So. Anyway, that's the shot. So this would be me using the mic, Royal Himalayan 450 single. Actually got the top box on there, and there's a few things I've done to it. I'm going to do that in another video. It's a good looking bike. Black and gold's great. Okay, so this is the similar shot. Mic mini's turned off, so this is the onboard microphone or microphones. Again, pan around, see what's here. Same shot really, just to compare the audio and see if it's worth taking the mic out of the helmet. There's a bit of wind here, so it'll be interesting to see what the camera's picking up. Bike shot, similar to before. Now we're using the mics on the camera, so should be a good comparison of the audio. See how it works. So this is a comparison video, seeing as it's worthwhile recording to the iPhone, doing a bit to camera for the iPhone, spinning around like I did before. Obviously the microphone is the iPhone's microphone, so this is what it would be if I didn't want to take the camera off the crash helmet. And I can see the point in that because I just did it and it was a bit fiddly, and I had to work out what to do with the mic. So this way you can walk around, do your bit to camera. Obviously this is a quiet place, so it works quite well. It's getting rather hot out here. So again, this is a piece to camera, the iPhone in my hand, taking a shot of the bike. I'll presume I'm recording. Looks like I am. Anyway, that was using the command, which I can't say, to get the camera going while sitting on the bike with the mic mini. So that worked okay. Again, really just checking out. Ooh, that is warm today. Let's go a different way. There's some tight bends up here. Zipped up. See, I am 30 miles an hour. Why? In the middle of the country. Let's see if we can work out why this is a 30 mile an hour road. There's no houses. There's no people. There are trees. There's nothing. There is nothing there, nothing there. Yep, that's a new house, and that is a big mound of earth. You've done a bit of filming, and you've either taken the mic off the crash helmet, or you've turned it off and shot with the mics on the Action. And then you get back on the bike and you turn the mic back on and it connects back up, and that is this recording. So hopefully that all worked. It did seem to. And I used the commands to get the camera going. One thing I have noticed is the fluffy on the end of the mic. It's very close to my face and it keeps touching it. And it's quite itchy. So I might have to do something with that. Probably just a positioning thing. I think we're going to go after this. Before that truck, we can beat these. Easy. Being only 30, you get there real quick. Yeah, I don't understand it when people say it's got no acceleration, this bike, because this bike is zippy. I had the Interceptor for this, so 650 twin. And obviously, you know, low down, it had more grunt, but acceleration wise, can't see there being much. I think it's a weight thing, actually. I think people load these bikes up. I mean, I've got a Topbox on this, and it's a real cheap Topbox. I think the whole thing was £40. That's with the mount. I bought it because I knew it'd be very, very light. Because I have Givi boxes, but they are really heavy. And then you've got the mount, and that's really heavy, which is great. And, you know, they last forever. Oh, 40, hey. But what I didn't want to do is add weight to this bike, because it is a 450, so you don't want to add too much weight. So if anything, I'm taking weight off. I went for the Topbox because I prefer the security of top boxes. Soft luggage is alright, but every time you get off the bike, you've got to worry about it. With a Topbox, you know, it's locked. People look at the bike, they're not going to bother mucking around with the Topbox. It's too much grief. I like the convenience, just opening it, throwing the stuff in and just locking it, and that's it. Whenever I have soft luggage, I never know whether to leave it on the bike or not. If you come back, someone could have had it or stolen the stuff that's in it. Anyway, so apart from this Topbox, I would go with soft luggage just purely because of the weight. And if I do a bit of touring, where I'm going to need more stuff, I'll probably just get some of those throw-over bags and panniers that go at the back all in one. They seem great. I've spoke to a few people and they say the bike lacks acceleration, but they're running all metal boxes. I mean, top box and side boxes, sometimes the bags at the front on the crash bars, which is what these bikes are for, they're great. But if you load all that lot up, it's like being two up. And then you put someone on the back, you're not going to have much acceleration. I've taken a bit of weight off this. I'm going to go through that on a different video about how I've reduced the weight. I find this bike fine. It's not a super fast bike. It never will be, but it's okay. It zips. Got to give it some, but it zips around. It's fine. You know, that's as fast as I accelerate on most bikes anyway. And I like the fact that I can rev this bike as well. You know, I can rev it really hard in a few gears, and I'm only doing 40 mile an hour. You could not say the same about my Street Triple R. You zip that a few times through the gears and wow, you're up there. All of that about weight and changes I've made to this bike, I'm going to do on a separate video because I watch quite a lot of them and I think people like them. I like to see real changes, not done by a company selling you something, but by another rider. We've tried it, see how it worked, no, it didn't work. So I'm going to be going through, I have a few of those videos planned actually. One of them is about the seat. One of them was about the suspension, and of course I've added the top box and the rack. I would have added guards, hand guards, but they were on it when I got it. I bought this bike second hand, so 2024, I think it was like 15 months old. I had 3,750 miles on it, so just running really. Bar risers and guards, and it's actually got the rally plate at the bottom as well, so I reckon the person before it used it a bit off-road, which is okay because that's exactly what it's built for. I haven't used it off-road yet, but I do plan to at some point once I find some roads to ride. So I think we'll bring this video to an end, and hopefully, if everything goes well, it should end up on YouTube. Stop recording.